C9 is not going in for any sort of crazy dive. They're willing to hold this back a bit, wait for people to go in on Sure 4, and as they dive in on Sure 4, the counter dive is there. They swarm over Desro and take him out immediately. So they were just waiting for someone to try and take out Sure 4. Still though, 5 versus 5. Selly gets picked, and there's still an opportunity for Rise to pull this back, but C9 with far more control to open things out.
Yeah, Spirit going down there too. I think what the Rise Nation composition is going to try to do, considering that they're not running really a fair mercy or of their own, or even a 4v4 as we enter ultimate phases of the game, and now here comes a Transcend from Locke. Dueling Transcendences on the point, so that's going to keep everyone healthy. Still, Short 4 throws down the barrage, gets 2.
Sure 4 bringing it right back. C9 was willing to use ults there, even though it was a kind of a rough engagement. It would have been very justified in backing out Hex, but Sure 4 says no. Another beautiful rocket hits on the Spirit towards the end. 2 to finish it out, and Cloud9.
So now they have to play in a very defensive position. That's I've always mentioned with Widow, she changes the battlefield without even firing a shot. You see them all hiding behind pillars and in holes. The control point is going to unlock, and they already have a presence on the point. Desro's going to try to get in here because they don't really want to give this up for free. They do eventually get on the point, but still have to be careful of those sightlines. No one's pressuring Sure 4.
Bretzi just gets domed. Sure 4 with the flick shot right onto the head. 3-1 in favor of C9 early on here. And just like that, Cloud9, which means Rise, this is their final attempt, Hex. This fight must be successful. Spirit to the back. Dragon Blade coming out. Going to get nullified a bit here by the Transcendence. Doesn't get the targets he's looking for, and the Blade will get nothing done here early on. Rise already in trouble. Locke about to go down. First kill comes in from Selly, and the rest of C9 is there in the fall through. 3-1 here to open things up, and though Rise is fighting it back a little bit, they've just taken too much damage to effectively bring this back in a convincing manner.
Hey, I wish we had a scoreboard, so just trying to recall it. I think there's been 1 death on the side of Cloud9 all stage, and it happened very late there.
Rutzi doing his... You do have decent sightlines here. You can dominate this top sightline if you have, say, a soldier trying to poke in. And if nothing else, Sure 4 being on the Widow is going to greatly control where Rise can move. And Rise right now, they're seeking refuge onto the point, but Sure 4 still plenty of ways of poking in here with this Widow.
And still, Sure 4 is just going to be largely uncontested until Desro decides to do something about it. But Sure 4 still with the sightlines is going to take down Retzi, one of the primary threats to deal with long-range damage. Vaz tries to bring it back. Sure 4
down to this fight. Pulse Bomb in from Spirit, does not connect. Here comes a sound barrier in from Rise. They need to get at least 1 pick off of this if they want to secure this fight, and they're not able to do it. C9 still in their face, and the counter sound barrier is out. There's life in C9 yet.
A much later sound barrier, and that's going to lead them to feel invincible as Selly goes off with the triple kill on the point. Rise gets a couple to try to bring this back, but it is only Retzi alive. Cloud9 will flip it over. Rise one last chance to contest.
My ultimate is charging.
Rise now, and you say 1 last chance, but this is going to be a very curried chance here where they just have to rush onto the point. They can't get good positioning, but they will have a Transcendence, which at the very least is good for rushing onto the point in these situations. But they have to hurry up here. It's 97%, 98%. They must touch it, and there they go. Spirit gets onto the point, and Waka's going to use the Transcendence to buy some time here. And actually, they might grab this point. C9 is holding quite a bit away here. Most of the fight is taking place off of the point. Both teams still at full, and yes, Rise is retaking the point. C9 really needs to get back on here, and they will get back indeed with a Transcendence of their own. And Sure 4, late Tac Visor should be all they need to clean up, but still options here for Spirit to be a hero.
Sure 4 does go down to aforementioned Spirit. He is discorded, so his life probably not very long. A nice Primal Rage has bought them some time, but with Spirit going down, I don't know if they're going to have the cleanup. Midnight will actually take down Adam with that self-destruct. And Rise
with the immediate punish. That's the type of coordination that C9 runs with nowadays, and for this stage in particular, Rise did not have an answer, and thus far, you see that Sure 4 is getting a whole lot of room to work with.
First point so critical on this stage in particular, and Rise has been fighting off of the point in different places. Give it off, Spirit from... Well, it was very likely going to be 1 push anyway, so it's going to be this push for the last of it now at 92% for Cloud9. Both tanks rotating through the Cabana, trying to get some pressure on. Bloodless so far.
Rise now back to full strength. Spirit has rejoined, and here comes the Transcendence. Locke has to use it early. Rolf is still holding his, is going to chain it after the Sound Barrier. The Sound Barrier now is worn off, and here comes Rolf on the Transcendence. It's good ult chaining by C9 as Desro goes down. 6 versus 5, and the support ult advantage works very much in their favor as the tanks converge and wipe out the remainder of Rise. That's going to be C9 taking Ilios 3-1.
Really nice positioning by the Cloud9 tanks there. They
that often, and why not? For Spirit, it's a comfort pick. Going to the back, looking for Surefour early on, and takes him down. You might have deflect, but it doesn't matter when there's a shotgun hitting you from the rear. 6 versus 5 for Rise, and they're catching C9 a bit off guard here.
Yeah, Spirit actually takes down Zephyr too. He's been really good at not just focusing down tanks. And Reaper has that deceptive range because even when those pellets hit from a distance, they still hit for a lot. And he's been able to get kill after kill. Now still trying to hold his high ground as Cloud9 as Gods jumps back in.
Reaper's been controlling heavy space, and he was also keeping Gods out of the fight. Gods did not want to challenge Spirit directly, and for good reason. Now, we do have Selly with an early tac visor, trying to pull it back, but there's just too many members of C9 dead. They lost too many from Spirit, and as a result, Rise is going to take this first point very quickly.
Couple late contests come isolate Rolf and make him a non-factor. However, C9 has banked a ton of ults during this fight.
C9 has a lot of tools to bring this back, and there's one of them going off right now. Selly moving out the tac visor. Surefour coming in on the flank. Probably has Deadeye in his mind right now. Will he use it? It's not a great opportunity. People are using the payload for cover, and no, they're giving this up. They realize it's gone, and Surefour jumps into the abyss.
Well, Zephyr didn't get the memo. He's on the Diva. He's going to stall out just for a little bit longer. Rise Nation, I think, did a great job of separating Cloud9. Once they got them off the high ground, they never let them get back in. They went into skirmish mode and started taking 1v1s all over the map.
All right, so C9, we do have a switch up here. Surefour no longer on the McCree, does not like the close quarters aspect here for playing it. Instead going to go to Tracer, but let me tell you, Hex, this is a great opportunity here for Spirit to flex to the Reaper. We saw him flex to Reaper on this last point before. We'll see if he does that to force the McCree back out of Surefour, but here comes C9. Primal Rage out from Gods, leading the way, forcing Rise Nation back a bit, and even though they lose Adam, Rise is on the back foot. They're getting poked down from all levels, and they're not going to be able to stay in this fight.
Well, the Primal Rage comes out and is going to try to knock people around. It has been rather even. They traded Lucio's early. A nice pull there will lead to Surefour going down. Retzi gets the killing blow. Midnight going to create some space on this cart with interesting whole hog, but take it, I guess.
C9 dove that really aggressively to a point they shouldn't have. They had the early kills. They didn't need to do that. They end up losing 2 people, and they give Rise a way back into a fight that really should have been there. Now, they have to get in the payload to stall things out. They get onto the payload to start it out. The Sound Barrier is in, and here comes Selly. The tac visor in from the back, but Spirit explodes for 3, and suddenly Rise Nation on the verge of punching this through. They have to get in the payload now. Selly, not really the opportunity. Knocked back in a fight versus Spirit. 1 meter to go, and there it is. Rise taking the better of C9 towards the very end, and Hex, that minute 7 is
everyone, and the best Pharaohs know how to play defensively when that has to happen. Still, after those first couple kills, nothing much has happened. Spirit just narrowly misses a hook.
Spirit has been a bit tortured here. He did have that early hook on the Gods, wasn't able to finish it out, and that's been haunting them as Gods has been a key part of this fight ever since. But the hook comes in on the Zephyr, but no. Gods finishing it out. Surefour still a threat in the skies, and now doesn't have to worry about much. Taking down his only threat in Rutzi, and that should be a take here for C9. And again, Hex, I'm just gonna note that first hook where Gods is pulled in and just barely got out. If Gods dies there, I think that we still...
Meanwhile, they've got a ton of push on the cart, forcing out a Sound Barrier.
Sound Barrier does come out. Surefour is still looking for knockoffs. Not going to get it here early on. 6 versus 6, but C9 has much better positioning here. Surrounding Rise from all ends, but Retzi going to drop the tac visor. Moving to the back, but taken down by the barrage. It's a beautiful flanking barrage from Surefour that picks off 3, and that will be the gates of the castle being knocked right down by C9.
Well, it might be time to use your microphone magic and reset that. Now the fight continues, fully reset 6v6.
Self-destruct in over the top from Zephyr, making space, doesn't get anything, but Rise still in a very tough position. Retzi gonna try and pull it back. Tac visor nullified by Diva and taken down by Selly. Surefour, the barrage to the back, effectively getting 2, and now C9 just a little bit away from that yellow box of not victory, but getting the 3rd point and bringing us to extra rounds. Just looking for someone to knock them away before they get there, but Retzi should be able to triple blink in. He's waiting for it. And they do contest the point. It's not even Retzi that goes in. Retzi is on mercy duty, looking to get Adam from the back. Not going to get to begin with. The Sheer 4 drops the barrage. The barrage doesn't quite get that much, so Rise still very much in this fight. And now with Roof going down, there's a big opportunity here. But Adam, the resurrection comes up mid-fight. And is he going to get it off? He's waiting for maximum value here. Playing on the edge, and does use the res towards the very end, but it might be too late. Rise Nation has done terrible damage to this point.
And his Desert showing up big again. He's had double and triple kills all throughout the day for this team, and he can be quiet until he's not. Just goes off. They will grab this point. Interesting enough, they were in Midnight on the Widowmaker here, and he got a pick during that fight and just offered a lot of pressure from them. So he's going to stick on it for now. Maybe. Yeah, he's going to look for another pick. It's a good way to deal with a Pharah, but they're off Pharah.
Well, now we are in the overtime rush. This can be one of the most exciting times in all of Overwatch, where Rise's potential here is undefined. They're out of time, but they're not out of hope. C9 wants to win a team fight as soon as possible here to end the threat of this payload going way too far. And now you take a look at Rise. They have Dragon Blade on deck, and with Retzi blowing up Sheer 4, this is a huge opportunity. 6v5, we'll see where it goes. Locke going to pay the price, but here comes the Dragon Blade. Spirit looking for one in the back, gonna get bopped away. Will he get the Ana here? Trying to get it, and no! He does not get it. The Dragon Blade not connecting, and suddenly Rise in tough shape as they try to keep this payload moving forward.
While the bubble goes down on the card, as they still have pretty even numbers. Retzi did find Rolf in the backline, so a lot of their healing is down. Still trading out as Refty 1v1 Selly. This is a brawl. Refty's got to stay on the cart, though, and Gods is doing his best to bully him away.
Well, this is where the offense is just trying to stall this out and keep things going. The respawn is relatively close, but it's not enough.
Might put the nail in the coffin.
Very well could, very well should. And C9 with those 2 extra kills, they're actually leaving Spirit alive here to some extent, where it could be dangerous, but they're going to take him out, and that's going to effectively be a stagger. Still, you take a look at the position that Rise is in here, they can very much defend the CL box victory. It's just going to matter, can Midnight land a good grab?
Yeah, Midnight was coming out thinking to go back in the fight, but he rotated back. They want to get the high ground possible. The good thing about that
Hex, you are roboting, so I will take over for this next part here, where it is like just full-on Mondetta. I don't know what to tell you. But Midnight coming in, holding on to the Graviton for this fight. No time left here from C9, and Spirit goes down. That is the one thing that could not happen, but did happen. So now it's going to be a 6v5. Rise, they do have the grab, but will they make the most of it? Midnight, under pressure, doesn't want to toss us into Zephyr's defensive matrix, but he's knocked out of the mech. Now's the time to drop the grab. And there it is. The Graviton comes in, 2 members in, and the fall through is there for Rise. They're pushing C9 off. C9 going to have their hands full and just keeping this delayed.
Oh my god, Adam clutched that res so hard.
The res comes in, and C9 still in this, and yet so is Midnight. Melts down Gods right away, and it is a last moment brawl between both teams. C9 fighting for the map win, and Selly going off. Picks off 2. Opens up Sheer 4 to go in deeper. The barrage connects, and C9 looking like they have turned this back. A late Earthshatter tries to come in from Desro. Not enough. And what was certainly a very close map goes the way of C9. Now up 2-0 in the This is a decent map to run McCree on. There's good sight lines for him, good opportunities to get used to flashbang, and you see Selly right now looking for that burst damage on the Retzi. Not going to get it early on, and the Discord Orb forces him back. Here comes Spirit, but no, not able to finish. A kill has Locke, just drops the orbs from across the map. Down goes Selly, and down goes C9 chances of taking this first fight.
And the
here on the Paul. Spirit diving in, drops the pulse bomb, doesn't connect. And this still, C9 getting pushed back. Adam immediately off. And now with the 6 versus 5, the Transcendence is down. 5v5 as Retzi falls, somewhat more back and forth, but it's still better initiation here for Rise.
The counter Transcendence comes out as the trades continue to go down, and Self-Destruct will go and clear off the point that lets Rise not take it back just by the smallest margin.
Doesn't happen. Selly was able to stay alive there, takes down Spirit and piles on, and unfortunately for Rise, they are thrown off, and what a good effort there from
on this stage of Nepal. Both teams kind of just poking right back and forth. It is difficult to dive against these comps. They do see Selly alone and try to go in on him, take him down.
Retzi taking down Selly immediately, 6v5 for Rise, and now they just pile on. And with Gods down, that really opens the floodgates here. There's not a lot of ways C9 can pull this back, and in fact, Adam, they signal for retreat. They're going to back it up. They give up this first point. 94%. If they take this fight, they will take the round, and yet the tank play of Rise trying to keep them in it, but it's just not going to be enough.
The self-destruct will clear Repsy off the point. That's a lot of their damage gone. Desro comes back in because he died first in that fight. It looks like Cloud9 will take this stage and set themselves up to take another map.
The thing that's a little bit disappointing here for Rise is that if you look at the box score after, if you look at...
Was almost reverse swept yesterday, so not out of the realm of possibility. And Rise, it's not been completely one-sided after the first couple stages of Ilios. They've been in every one of these fights. Razor's Edge, they just got to find a little bit more. Shore4 takes on Spirit Start.
Shore4 flanked around the side, got his man, will be demeching D.Va, and oh no, this could be a party room if he wills it. He's not going in here just yet, and doesn't really need to, but actually is going to be chasing Lucio. And no, actually doesn't even want that. That's something to be said here for the new Lucio, where... But for now, no, they're just going to go in. The Sound Barrier Dragon Blade combo is out. They get lock immediately. And Shore4 looking for any Dragon Blade kills that simply won't happen. They might not need to happen, though. It's still 2 early kills from C9, and Rise well on the way to being eliminated here as Shore4 gets the kills he's looking for, and that will potentially be the map and the series for Cloud9.
It was just so smart from Adam there as the Sound Barrier came off from Rise Nation and they retreated. They just bailed out of it, waited for it. Everyone rallied